Today we're talking about skateboarding's biggest controversy. This subject has been so heated, such a heated debate, it's been the topic of many battles. Varial flips or tray flips? All right, Nigel, the question is, what is better, more stylish, just varial flips or kickflips? I mean, varial flips or tray flips?
Tray flips.
Tell us everything.
Tray flips, they just look better, especially if you get the right person that does them right, the front foot catch. Varial flips look sick, but I feel like there's only like 10 people that can do varial flips where you're like, okay.
So then does that make it better? Because does that mean the tray flip is easier?
No, I think the tray flip still, I think it's more difficult, but it's gotten to a point to where it is easier than the varial because of its difficulty level.
You guys decide. Leave it in the comments below. Gabe just wants everybody to say varial flip.
I heard everything I just need to hear, though.
I can tray flip this all day. I can't varial flip this all day.
Dang.
And my trays look better than my varials.
Up your talent game then, Jones.
Well, it's not a pleasing trick.
Leave it in the comments below. That right there, my friend, is a pleaser. Okay, Uzi, varial flips or tray flips, Uzi?
Tray flips, all day.
Tell us everything.
Well, Nigel did the most perfect varial flip ever, and it was like, And then he did a tray flip, and it was like, oh.
So you think it's better, more pleasing? Now here's a question though.
It looks better.
What's harder?
Well, I don't know, because I suck at tray flips, so downstairs I'm saying tray flips are harder, but.
Yeah? So you could varial flip this easier than tray flip?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it here. What about on flat?
On flat, tray flips way easier.
Way easier, he said. For all those beginner skateboarders out there, keep that in mind. What about for a beginner?
For a beginner, probably varial's easier.
Okay, Glow. Varial flip or tray flip?
Oh, quiet on the set!
Varials or tray flips, it's all dependent on who's doing them.
Yeah.
You.
Me.
No, tell us everything. That's the controversy.
All right.
Go ahead. So who do you want to see doing the varial? Who do you want to see doing the tray?
I will go with the tray flip, Chris Jocelyn, because he did it down the El Toro, and I feel like he did it down the Davis Gap. So that is the world's greatest tray flip to mankind.
Okay.
But varial, I'm not sure I've seen a big varial. Have you?
Versace plug.
Oh, of course, that guy.
So what's better, Glow? Come on.
You want me to leak it?
Yeah, I want you to say it.
Tray flip. Man, there's tray flip, 360 flip. I'm not gonna lie. Tray flip, stanky leg, has a little bit more cooler steez than a varial stanky leg. So I'll just leave it at that. But I love both.
Andrew, you're like the hippest of the hip. You're like beyond hip. You're so hip that you could be skated as a hip.
As a hip.
So varial flip or tray flip?
Tray flip.
Why?
Because Brandon Westgate in Stay Gold, when he does a tray flip and he smacks the tail first, like hits the back wheels, and then it's just the best.
Okay, but here's some questions though. What's harder?
Probably varial flip.
What's harder for a beginner?
Tray flip.
Okay, what's harder, more difficult downstairs?
I don't know, because it kind of depends. I think like tray flip, like it flips all crazy, and then you have to like really pop it to make it like go up to your feet. So some people have it really good, but sometimes a varial flip is easier than a kick flip downstairs.
So if you were like,
I don't know. I'd probably rather varial flip downstairs than tray flip.
you personally,
Yeah, me personally.
because it looks better or because it'd be easier?
It's easier.
So you think it's easier downstairs, but looks better, more satisfying? Which one?
I think tray flip looks better.
Hey, we got a lot of controversy going. We got a lot of controversy.
Yeah, this is insane. This came out yesterday.
This don't make sense.
Oh!
Did you hear that?
Look at that Versace plug one. All right, Chris McNugget, varial flip or tray flip?
Tray flip, 100%.
Why?
To me, landing my first tray flip was way more satisfying than landing my first varial flip.
Oh.
But
So we got a personal satisfaction.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I also think like a tray flip is more of a balanced looking and just like scientifically balanced trick because it's 360 this way and 360 this way, both axes. So varial flip is 180 and 360. And I think like tray flip is probably one of the most iconic skateboarding tricks out there. Varial flip, not so much, but I heard you asking, what's easier for a beginner?
Yeah.
For sure, varial flip. And it's because a tray flip requires more power to get it all the way around. And the issue with people thinking varial flips are harder is because once you land the tray flip, which is way better, that's all you do. And so
I love how he had to throw that in, just like a little jab
Yeah,
into
little
Gabe Cruz's
parentheses.
spine. Once you learn the tray flip, which is harder.
yeah, exactly. I think once you land that, you're like, I don't need varial flips anymore, and then you kind of neglect the finesse you need for that varial flip.
Yeah.
So once you learn tray flips and you get them dialed down, going back to varial flips is going to be a little more difficult just because you have all that power. So it just requires a little more delicate of a scoop, which is, you know, respectable. If you have a nice varial flip after you learn good tray flips, then that's awesome. But I just think tray flips look way sicker.
Okay, Gabe. This is what I think. It all depends on who is doing it and how it's done. I actually think that everybody does tray flips, and it is definitely a more respected, better looking trick like Chris was saying. But with that being said, if you do a really good varial flip right now, it is sticking out like crazy. It's like a heel flip, which everybody hates, and nobody should do a heel flip, especially not a straight heel flip. So it's kind of a tough one. But if I had to choose, let's say I'm in my video part and I'm choosing which one do I want to do right now. I kind of want to go varial flip because it's against the grain, but probably am gonna throw in the tray flip. But what I think, and the point that I wanna make out of all of this, and I also agree with everything they said, varial flip's easier for a beginner. Once you get tray flips, going back to varial flips is harder. But the whole thing that you should do to master all of skateboarding, get a really good tray and then get varial flips, not in that order. Learn varial flips first, then tray flips, and then get them both, and then do them both consistently. That's what I like to do with my skating. So when I play a game of skate, I like to do kickflip, varial flip, tray flip, build up to that. Never lose varial flips, and you can crush people in games of skate. Do a varial flip, fakie varial flip, nollie varial flip, switch varial flip, you just got them 4 letters. At least 3.
Do varial flips on me in games of skate, I'm like, there's a big chance I'm gonna mess this up. Yeah, like, you know, tray flips, you know, usually I'll land it, but varial flip, I gotta really like focus and try.
So far, every single person has voted tray flip. How does that make you feel?
Sick and tired of the disrespect, all right?
Yep.
We're keeping varial flips alive.
Yep.
Hashtag keep varial flips alive. Leave it
Yep.
in the comments below.
Feel you?
Where do I even start?
With a tear in your eye.
Tear in my eye.
Start right there.
Not gonna have a tear in my eye, but
Muster it up.
varial flip was the first ever flip trick I landed.
Okay.
Before kick flip, before tray flip, before everything.
Word up.
I agree with everyone else. It's easier for beginners. Tray flips are harder for beginners. And then I do agree it swaps. Tray flips do get easier. Varial flips get a little bit harder, with an asterisk due to lack of practice. The number one thing I would like to let everyone in these comments and everyone watching this video know is that if you do not like varial flips and you don't like how they look, it's likely because you cannot do a good one yourself.
Oh!
So get out there.
Speak it the truth.
Get out there and do
He
some
let it
varial
roll.
flips. They require more skill. So people, I mean, if you don't like how it looks, that's on you. But really, people are just hating the more difficult trick.
Well, it brings up a good thing, is like, is the more difficult trick in skateboarding always better? Or are you gonna go into the style route where you want the trick that's better looking? Leave it in the comments below. I wanna see some bloodbaths down there.
You know, I actually really liked what Aaron was saying though, is that so many people do tray flips, it's like the status quo of tricks. Like when you're learning how to skate, you wanna learn how to tray. When you do a varial flip, it's a stepping stone and then it's kind of thrown to the backdrop and you don't really think about it. But like Aaron was saying, if you see a varial flip now, it stands out and people are like, look at that, it's a good trick, baby.
In my video parts, I did 5-0 tray flip out, and then years later, I did 5-0 varial flip out, and I won't lie, I'm kind of more stoked on the varial flip out.
Yeah, because the 5-0 tray flip, we landed like this. Clean. Varial was clean. Woo! Hashtag keep varial flips alive.
All right, leave the controversy in the comments below. What controversial subject should we tackle next? Check out all those videos. You, yes you, learn to ride a skateboard. Let's go.